Welcome to another edition of the Tired Observations. 5 races into the season. Shez, you know that I have been watching, I have been listening, I've been taking notes, and so I have a ton of observations. You ready for this, man?
Let's go.
All right. So we're talking at the end of the Grand Prix in Shanghai. It was an exciting one, right? There were many twists, there were many turns, there was rain, there was sun, there was sprint qualifying. Each session had drama in it, right? And I had two Ferrari drivers going at it, which by the way, I don't recommend anyone else does, but on the heels of this exciting weekend, I think that we can make no mistake about it, Ches. The sprint weekend is back. It just is, man. I love the new format. I love the excitement. It seems like teams have a chance to tweak things up for the race before it's not like the previous format where they were kind of locked in for the weekend and you kind of knew what they were doing. It is a good format. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the change of format and part firme rules. I think that's improved things. Yep.
Speaking of back, the Chinese Grand Prix
Yeah.
back. That was great, right? This was it was a great venue. Many great things. I have actually three top moments of mine from the Chinese Grand Prix. You want to hear them?
Let's go.
All right. Number three, Lance Stroll plowing through cars ahead and into Danny Ricciardo, effectively ending his F1 career.
Who's F1
Second,
career?
Danny Rick's
Ah,
career
right.
ended,
Yeah.
man. It's
Right,
done.
right, right. Oh
I'm
dear.
just wondering. I'm hoping that second Aston seat is still open. Maybe. I don't know.
But
Maybe
then
not.
Ricardo,
It's not. It's not.
it depends where they're
Um,
going.
Number two, Zhou Guan Yu getting a chance to appreciate his home crowd and tearing up that emotional moment, man. That was all goosebumps.
Yeah, loved
It
it.
really was.
Loved it.
Well,
Absolutely loved that.
on the heels of questionable officiating throughout the race with all the safety cars, not safety cars, I think the Formula One got one thing right, and that was really cool. My number one moment, though, hands down, is Nico Rosberg. I mean, we haven't quite talked about him as much, but I love the combination of him and Crofty. You could see the love-hate between them throughout the race. It was wonderful. I mean, Nico brought a flamethrower to the commentary box. He eviscerated everybody in the way. I mean, they couldn't agree on whether there was sun or rain or whatever clouds. They couldn't work. And then he didn't mind. He didn't mind talking down Lewis. He didn't mind, throwing poop all over Toto as well. I mean, he said something to the effect of, at the end of the sprint race, right? Is Toto smiling? And he's like, no, he doesn't really smile about things like that. Like, I love that. Did you love seeing Nico?
Yeah, I do every time. Every single time that Nico is in the commentary box, I am elated. It's awesome because the main thing for me about Nico is that he has no ties to any broadcaster. So like he can say what the heck he
Amazing.
wants, and he does. And it's really insightful. And as someone that has driven a Formula One car recently and won a title in one, he brings a very, very unique perspective.
He
I love
really
it.
does.
Every
I
single thing he says is to the point, logical, and it makes sense. And he is not afraid to say bad things or good things about anyone without caring what anyone thinks about it. Love it. Absolutely love
what what I love about him the most is, despite having as much knowledge of the sport as he does, he talks like a Formula One fan does. He has that excitement, that joy, and he's raw in that regard, right? I mean, you
it. Yeah.
don't get that with. I know you want polished broadcasting in general, but I kind of like this.
I
I,
don't
I
care
don't
about
know.
that. I don't care about that. But this is the very reason why I love having him on comms is the very reason why they will never have him fully on comms forever because he feels like he's not beholden to anyone, right?
That's it. Yeah.
And it means that he'll come and go as he pleases, which is fine. And maybe we can have too much of a good thing.
We
Maybe.
can. We can. Speaking of which, Carlos Sainz, Aston Martin collision course. Still waiting for that second seat to open.
Yeah.
What
Which
is
which seat is he going to fit
I don't
into?
know. I
Oh,
don't know. Maybe, I mean, he's got to get, I mean, Stroll's got to get the hell out of there. But
yeah, yep, yep.
the S in Steak Sauber, you know what that stands for?
Slow pit stop.
Oh, man, that's pretty close. I have SMH. I was just, my goodness, man. They couldn't, I mean, Valtteri had a point in that race. I mean, before they had, he was down to score a point then. What are they doing, man? What are they doing?
I mean, power unit failures happen, but pit stops that are 4 seconds, an improvement. I'm not going to
Oh,
lie.
4 seconds. My goodness. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
they should be
But you realize that Red Bull did a double stack in less
in
time
four
than
seconds. Yeah. And less than that, right? 3.9, right? They
it's
just
hilarious.
made the F in Ferrari
Oh,
stands for. Go ahead. You want to take any
uh,
guesses?
Fugazi.
Okay. Yeah. I have almost effed up, not once, but
Yeah,
twice on the same damn weekend. To both the Ferrari drivers, do not do it again. Okay. Just do not do it again, especially not when we get to a few more races and later in the year, right? And I'm gonna just go ahead and say this too. The F in Fred Vasseur has to stand for fix it. Do not want to see this happen in Imola. Do not want to see this happen in Monza. Okay. And do not also want to see this happen in Singapore. This seems like the only races we can actually win. But I mean,
I
you
do.
know,
I'd love to see it every single race. In fact, I'd love to see it this season, next season, every season coming. I love a little bit of a battle between teammates. It's what we're missing at the front right now, isn't it? So
sure.
let it be. Bring it on.
We'll do that next year when your guy's in there. But
So you're happy.
hey,
Wait. So you're happy for it to happen next year when my guy is in there, but right now,
no, I
when
don't want it to happen at all
oh,
because
okay,
all
okay.
the Ferrari guys are my guys, including your guy next year. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do next year, but right now I just want to enjoy this.
Why do you hate him
Car
so much? I
I
don't get
don't know.
it. Why do people hate him?
I don't know. Carlos Sainz, Mercedes collision course. And
Sure,
I mean, who else is? I mean, nobody
sure.
wants to take that Mercedes seat right now
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, I think it's still a better seat than the Audi seat.
The C in Carlos and Charles stands for
Crash.
cool it down, boys. And Carlos, go for it, man. I want Carlos to win this year. That's all I'm going to say.
Why do you want him to win this year?
I don't know. It just feels I don't know. I feel like he shouldn't have lost that seat. That's all it is. I'm probably a little bit better. I just feel like we are finally getting things put together, and it's like okay, whatever. Maybe it's gonna be okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't. We'll
ju
see.
jumped on the everyone hates Lewis uh,
No, I don't
hype
hate
train.
him. I do not hate. Please, to all of our Lewis Hamilton listeners, watchers, viewers, whatever,
All three of
please
them.
don't come after me. Please, I love them all. I'm not. I mean, other than Kimmy, I won't fight for anyone. But there you go. Shez, I don't know if you noticed, man, but Max won a race. I mean, that kind of happened. It's
What? Again, never.
yeah, it did. I mean, I'm not sure I saw him at all. I think saw him for the first couple turns, and then at the end, I saw him for the podium. At this point, I'm kind of forgetting what Max looks like driving a car. So, I guess, I mean, I don't
You
know.
know
We'll
what?
just
Max is doing the my tires are cooked Bono really badly. Like he waits too long. He does it like right at the end, and then says something irrelevant like, "Oh, there was some debris on the track." Like if you're gonna make it sound like you're
But
having a hard time, Max, do it properly and do it at a timely.
I, I think he's actively going to find something to like bother him because he has to
Has
stay
to,
awake, man.
has
I
to.
don't know. Maybe they have Red Bull pumping in through, through the drink bottle
He's
there
just
in the
driving
car,
around like
but
this.
he's just like I don't even know what they're like. I wouldn't be surprised if he just spins, one of these races because he's like he's got like 25 seconds in hand anyway. Oh, okay, no problem. I'll just make it up in no time. That's just what it is. Oh man. By the way, I love seeing his reaction in the
Oh yeah,
cool
in the
down
cooldown
room
room.
to this. That was perfect, man. That's what the driver should be put to do. Like, don't ask them questions and like just react to these moments in the race. Like that's what you got to
Agreed.
do. Just
Agreed.
the C in Christian Horner.
Uh, Crass.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now he looks calm, collected. He looks like a championship winning principal. And just the exact opposite of Toto Wolff, man. I just got to say it. I have
And
no.
and just in the same way that Toto is culpable for all of the failures of Mercedes, Christian Horner is responsible for all of the things that have gone well at Red Bull, presumably.
I mean, we do remember Horner Corner, don't we? That seems like it's going to be
Yes,
coming back
I
soon, but
definitely feel like Red Bull are doing amazingly well despite Christian Horner at the
just
moment.
get rid of the team principal. Who's more important? Team principal, engineers, drivers? I don't know. Pick one. I don't know.
Well, anyway, maybe a debate
Speaking
for
of
another
which,
day.
Carlos Sainz, Red Bull, collision course. You already
Yeah,
kind of said that, but
yeah. I'll have that. That's good. That's a
Um,
good mix.
McLaren, they look strong, especially in the hands of Lando. I mean, there was bad Lando and then there was good Lando, right? I mean, we saw that in the span of 24 hours, but Lando was pretty good.
Yeah, Lando under zero pressure is excellent. Lando under a little bit of pressure drops from
Not so,
pole to sixth.
yeah. To the guys at Aston Martin, what are you doing? Why did they have to put soft tires? And it just makes no sense. I don't even know
I
what they
think
were thinking, man.
I think if the second safety car hadn't come out, that probably would have made a bit more sense, just given how well the soft tire held out across the sprint race. Um,
Yeah.
I think they got caught out, but the logic of it was probably there at the first safety car to make up a few places. But anyway, it just gave us charging Fernando at the end, which was amusing.
Yeah. Speaking of Fernando, pushing the limit, literally. I mean, I loved it and I hated it. I thought the penalty was deserved. You think otherwise, but there we go. I
Why
mean,
do you think it was
I,
deserved?
I think that was a little too much. I mean, Carlos had already overtaken him. It was done. Like it was quite done. Like he didn't need to keep doing that. I don't understand why he did that. And then I think in you know in doing all of that, he lost so many points too. Like he could have easily had a handful of points as well. I don't quite get it. Like fight hard, but then you've already been
No,
overtaken. It
I,
was done.
I
Like
think
I don't know.
the touch was marginal. I thought it was feisty of him to fight back. I quite liked it. I also really enjoyed that into the final corner. In his chase of was it George Russell he was chasing
Yeah,
or
he
Oscar
was.
Piastri? Or was it Oscar Piastri he was
I think it
chasing?
was one of the McLaren. I think it was Piastri, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't he? Yeah, yeah.
mate, that catch and then the fact that he lost no momentum whatsoever going forwards, brilliant,
I
absolutely
mean,
brilliant. Yep, love that.
Fernando was his name. Carlos Sainz, Sauber collision course.
Yeah, it
I
might be the
mean,
thing that's going to happen, isn't it? But I don't like it.
it might be, and if he does that, Carlos, you better get that bag, man, because next year is going to be brutal for you. And I don't know what those years look
Yeah,
afterwards, but he
I
should
mean,
get paid well enough
I
to.
mean, frankly, my problem is not necessarily Sauber's trajectory, but this is the first time James Key has had a little bit of input on the car, and I like James Key in the sense that when there's a team with a limited budget and um, have been sitting in the midfield, he's quite good at getting the most out of that team. My where my worry comes in is when he's been given a big budget and a huge amount of potential, like he did at McLaren, and he messed it up, man. That was the position they were in at the beginning of 2023 was because his philosophy got it wrong.
The T in Toto Wolf stands for.
Terrible,
Yeah, I have too much yapping.
too
It's
much
just too much.
yapping.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
too much. I mean, please just be quiet, okay? Just be quiet and take it on the chin. You know, you don't know what the hell is going on with your car. It's fine. I'm tired of all these fake promises like, oh, we're gonna fix this, we're gonna fix that, and there's a correlation issue, and now there's this, and now there's that. It's just too many excuses. Too many. Just say you don't know what you're doing, right? Which I know he said, but he hasn't said that enough. Just say you know you don't know what
You
you're
could
doing,
never
and
say I'm
it's
not doing, I don't know what I'm
yeah,
doing
no,
enough.
just say it. No, be honest. If you think you're gonna be the leader, I mean, just
I
stop doing
guarantee you,
that.
Ammar, if he said that again and again, you would complain that he says he doesn't know what he's
I
doing.
mean,
That's the problem with the with a media narrative that's being push, and a fan base that need to hear the right thing all the time. You're never going to be able to say the right thing because they're in a
okay,
situation that doesn't allow that. I'm sorry,
fine,
but
fine. I
that's
mean, but what
reality.
he's doing right now, this is big loser talk, praising Max, talking about, oh wow, he's so great and nobody's catching him and blah blah blah. Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
You don't have to say that you don't know what you're doing. You also don't have to openly flirt with Max. Like, geez, come on, stop it, will you? Like, do you have his number? Text him, call him over
I'm
for
sure
your famous
I'm sure
coffees or
he's already
whatever.
doing that.
Yeah, I mean, so you're already doing it. What are you doing? You're gonna say this out in the media. So I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to cover his bases. He knows that Max is not gonna come. So he's gonna say all these things, and then if Max chooses not to come, and if by some chance they end up being a little bit more competitive, a couple years out, and he's gonna be like, "Look, see, I told. Simple minds won't understand, but truly, depthful, insightful people will know. Like, what is all this crap? Like, why are you so, so what is this Shakespearean stuff? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what is this simple minds bullshit? Seriously,
Oof.
no, too
Okay.
much, too much. Okay, well, you're gonna like this now. The H in Lewis Hamilton stands for.
Honorable.
All right. Wow, wow. You mean like it stands for how you like me now, huh? Huh? See, see, it was in a couple of days ago. He was asked about his decision. Look at how the weekend played out. Like, yeah, that looks like a great decision now,
Yeah,
doesn't it? It's gonna look like that with every, with every sort of thing. But
I
look,
agree.
I still maintain that Ferrari are making a mistake, right? The Carlos Sainz project is already getting better, but here we are now. But Lewis looks like he's made a great decision. Speaking of which, Carlos Sainz, a sabbatical collision course.
Nah,
Yeah, I mean, do you really want to sit in that
nah.
Sauber and for 50
Yes.
seconds
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. If that's the only seat, you take that seat because a sabbatical when you haven't won anything is
Hmm.
that's a career ender. Like you can
All
do
right.
it when you've won two championships. You can do it when you've won one championship, as your friend Kimmy did. You can't do it when you've not achieved anything.
0305 go differently. Oh my God. Anyway, 50, the number of races since Lewis Hamilton has won a race. My God, it seems like ages ago, ages ago.
Doesn't it?
Um, and then the cause of that is Max. He has been so dominant.
Well.
I mean,
I think part of it is because his car's crap.
I mean, I do want to take this moment as I close out to give Max his flowers. So
Oh, very good.
I've anointed him with this new name that that no one else has come up with, which is Super Max. That's what it is. Respect to you, sir. Respect. I know someone's come up with it. I mean, just
I'm
doing a
sure there's
joke.
a
Yeah,
song about that, isn't there?
yeah. There's a lot.
Can I just say though, right, that in comms, young Nico Rosberg said by the end of this season, I think Max Verstappen might end up in my top five. And he then went off and of all time,
I love it.
he then went and listed who is currently in his top five, excluding Max Verstappen. So I'm just saying, we did put a video out there saying exactly
Yeah,
that, that some
we
stuff
did.
needed to happen before he's considered within the that upper echelon. Um, Nico seems to have agreed with me, but anyway, that's just me.
Yeah. No, and that's a perfect way to end because speaking of Nico, Sky Sports F1, F1 TV, sign him up now. These are our post round five tired observations. Thanks for watching.